All these 35-year-olds in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle costumes.
I don't live in the burbs with, people have a bunch of kids, that makes sense, in that context, but it's just them. Somebody was dressed as an astronaut. Very weird.
Podcast about sports. My name is Bob, sitting across the way from my good friend and co-host. That's Abe. How you doing tonight, Abe?
Doing well, Bob.
Yeah, here we are. Lori's here too. How you doing tonight, Lori?
I'm fine.
Lori's fine. Tonight is Thursday, October 30th, 2025. 13 years to the day since my son was born, and as part of his birthday celebration, Calvin is joining us tonight. Calvin, how you doing?
I'm good.
Calvin is good. As mentioned, Thursday means it's Thursday night football. And Abe, it is imperative that you live bet the games, and preferably get off the goddamn schneid, Abe, because the balance in the old gambling account has not been helped by you in some many weeks now.
You could also go off of my bet.
I wonder if Calvin has any hot takes on this episode.
He's been working on hot takes all week long.
Nice.
He also says that he's going to live bet the games, and we'll see which. If you guys go in the same direction, that'll be interesting. But Abe, tonight, Ravens minus 7.5 points kicks off in less than 2 minutes on the road at the Miami Dolphins. More than a touchdown. I assume that means that Lamar Jackson is back. Is that possible?
Yes, I believe so. There's been some shenanigans going on with Lamar's availability status. I think they got into trouble, last week. Saying that he would be available and then saying never mind, but I think he's available. I think the Ravens are going to win, despite the Dolphins faring well against the local team here in Atlanta last week.
Money line, minus 460, or going to lay the points, touchdown and a half?
No. You know what? I've been in a bad way, so I was going to do the cowards thing and just try to get a win, but no, going to lay the points.
Lay the points, because the money line has not worked for you lately.
Yes, because I think it is a coward's way out. I shouldn't do that. I should just pick the team that's going to win it.
It's a $5 bet to win $4.24 in return. That's better than the 60-odd cents that I would be getting, I think, if I bet the money line. Calvin, it being your birthday, the Ravens minus 7.5 or the Dolphins plus 7.5. What do you think?
I think the Ravens win, but it's closer. It's like 3-point game, not 7.
Oh, so you would take, in this case, the Dolphins plus the points.
To cover.
Yeah.
Taking the other side.
Pretty much a beatdown in a way tonight, but Miami really did themselves in. And again, Ravens win it by a score of 28-6.
Look at you on a Thursday night. Wait, is it Athletic Brewing Co.? Is that one of those alcohol-free brews?
Yes. Well, if you round down to 0%, yes.
You just like the taste of lager that much?
That's the good one.
It's the good one. What did I dare you? You don't like this one?
It's a pretty good one. I got more out of that Athletic Brewing Co. non-alcoholic beer than I thought that I would. I enjoy that one also. I think I'll have a beer later when we record that goofy.
No, we can't drink this
much. Give me
much.
the no. I can have a beer, lady.
You said you didn't want to drink as much.
Right,
you
Calvin? No, I don't want to drink.
You said I want to drink less. I should drink less.
Once I'm drinking, I want to drink less.
But the way to not start drinking.
No. You don't understand.
I do.
You
know don't.
If I have a beer, I will have a beer tonight. I will not have more than a beer. The problem is when it's like Saturday and we've watched football for 6 hours and I've had 3 drinks already. And it's like, feeling pretty good. I should probably have another. That's the problem. I'm getting too old for that kind of nonsense. All right, Abe, we haven't recorded in quite some time. All sorts of sports news has happened. We didn't record on Monday for reasons that I can't quite remember, except that
you didn't want to.
I didn't want to. I had a long baseball email to send. Lots of baseball drama this week.
Not good drama.
I mean, just administrative drama. We skipped recording on Monday. We're here with a weekend preview show. But first, let's open up the WGAS NewsBag. It's time for Who Gives a Shit News Sports Edition. Brian Kelly, since the last time we were gathered here around these microphones, has lost his job. No longer the head coach of the Louisiana State University Tigers.
You know, typically when a coach is fired, there's stories about how, he lost the locker room or, things were falling, heading in the wrong direction. With Brian Kelly, I don't think I've seen so much negative stuff coming about him. Like, it seems
delightful.
Like literally no one likes this guy. Like, not one person seems to have his back at LSU or anywhere else. It's just get out of here, goodbye. I mean, there was this whole thing with the governor. I don't know why the governor is meddling with this whole process, but like just with Brian Kelly, just him getting fired and everybody just shitting on him, and like not one person coming to his defense was interesting. Not surprising based on his reputation, but just no one likes this guy.
Apparently, like one donor is paying the bulk of the buyout. Like apparently just there's like one rich asshole who's like footing the bill for a large percentage of the money that he is owed, which is like I talked about, like, Georgia, the University of Georgia calls me up 2 weeks before we play in the national title game. It's like, hey, your Bulldogs, they're playing the national title game. How about you give us $1,000? I'm like, what? No. Why would I gave you all sorts of money 20 years ago? I'm not giving you more money. But the idea of like forking over tens of millions of dollars so that my university, which did a poor job in hiring this individual, wouldn't have to suffer the consequences themselves for that action. Any further, anyway, seems ridiculous.
I would never spend money like that if I had it on a coach. But like if you were like a billionaire and you spent money on facilities or something that improved like the landscape of your school, that's one thing. This is like to kind of correct an error that the AD made, right? So you're not actually
jumping in here during the edit the next morning to say there was a recording snafu while we were recording last night. Lost about 3 minutes of stuff here that coming from our end. Abe's recording was fine. This was all on our end. As I recall, I made some sort of joke about how Abe would be willing to donate money to get the practice facility named after himself, but nobody in their right mind donates money so that their name would be at the bottom of a contract buyout. So yeah, no great content lost there ultimately. This podcast moment ultimately lost like tears in rain, like all of them will be eventually. But anyway, we're jumping ahead now a couple of minutes to the rest of our conversation about Brian Kelly.
There have been a lot of vacancies this college football season, and apparently LSU is like the best of the bunch. Like, I guess you can go either way, but
in some ways,
it seems like it's the best of the bunch. When you have the governor butting in this way and saying things like, we're not going to do this again, and we're not going to fork over the money like that the AD forked over for a coach, I would imagine that would kind of hurt the that job. Like, because why would a top flight coach, who has all of these other jobs available to them, like why would they come to LSU knowing
so many other jobs?
Right?
Do you know what's not going to happen?
What?
Anything that governor threatened.
Yeah.
Right. Like they're going to pay probably as much as, if not more than anyone else this coaching cycle.
Right.
With whoever they hire.
Right.
He's just flat. That's not it will not be the case.
Right.
That LSU is not going to pay a ton of money for their next coach.
Because they'll want to make a big splash. This whole thing about the name, like you need like a known commodity. If they did like a committee search, like if they did this the right way and they found like a coordinator somewhere, or even like a Brent Key at a tech school, like if they found somebody who wasn't like some big name that's going to command $10 to $12 million a year for like 5 years at least to start, then they could have a manageable kind of salary deal with that coach. But they're not going to do that. They're going to do the splashy thing. They're going to start to compete with Florida and Penn State and the other schools that will become available. And
I know that we saw this coming, and like you sort of knew it was inevitable, but like the schools that are available right now are just bonkers.
Yes, it's remarkable.
You're going to
have a spreadsheet.
Go ahead, list them. Because we're
Okay.
not even done yet. Wisconsin
No, I'm
still
in round
hasn't.
one. I have a spreadsheet, and the first sheet is round one.
Wisconsin is still going to come open in all likelihood. Florida State is in all likelihood still yet to come open, but will.
Okay, so chronologically, Stanford, Kent State, who just filled that position.
Kent State does not count.
Whatever. Okay, Stanford, Virginia Tech, UCLA, Oklahoma State, Arkansas, Penn State, UAB, which you're going to say doesn't count, Florida, Colorado State, LSU. And that's not with like Auburn and Florida State.
Auburn, Florida State, Wisconsin, all likely to come open.
Maybe, like, there are so many.
You think Auburn's what's his name again?
Hugh Freeze.
Hugh Freeze. You think Hugh Freeze is gonna get fired?
I think there's a really good chance that Hugh Freeze gets fired, yes. Especially because they have Kentucky at home this weekend, and Kentucky's real bad.
Yeah.
And if they lose that game, he could get fired.
I wonder
But-
the wonderful stories we'll get to hear when Hugh Freeze gets fired, if we got to hear the Brian Kelly ones.
And Auburn still has, I know I don't have their schedule pulled up right now, but I know they've got Alabama still to go at the end of the year. They're not going to win that game.
Right. And maybe, do you see Dabo's not going to get fired, but do you see him like leaving for another position? Like, oh, you guys don't appreciate me. I'm going to take my ball.
Where could Dabo go?
Well, that's-
Go to the other Tiger.
out of that group.
Maybe he just goes to
So
LSU.
my question
Yeah.
for this spreadsheet, so these, for example, Kurt Signetti and the other one, Matt Rule, just signed contract extensions.
Right. Matt Rule, today it was announced, signed a contract extension with Nebraska after losing in embarrassing fashion a couple weeks ago, right after Franklin was fired.
I feel like I should put that information in the round one sheet. The round two sheet is, going to be the next round. This is still the first round.
Of what? Of firings?
Even Brian Kelly,
Yes.
he's still in the.
And hirings, because in round two, I have the Kent State head coach that was the interim now made the head coach. Filling just the.
Yeah, I mean, we're long as
still
we
in
are
round
mid-season, it's round one, in my opinion. But
No, because it's going to be a domino effect.
yeah, but no one is going to get hired before.
This guy just did.
Yeah, but that's Kent State. Like I said, does not count in
Sure,
the
I'm going
terms
to
that we're
put the
talking
contract
about.
extensions in round one. Good talk.
So Bob, you anticipate all the hirings at the premier programs that's going to happen at the conclusion of this season? Because there's going to be like this bidding war, right, to try to get
The
whoever you want.
absolute earliest is going to be like that week after Thanksgiving, right? Like before the conference championship games happen. Like that's the absolute earliest that these big schools fill any jobs. And I think for the most part, it's going to take longer because anybody who's anybody is going to still be coaching, right? And doing things at that point.
When was
What's
Dan
interesting-
Lanning hired at Oregon is what I'm trying to figure out right now. Because we knew when we played in the national championship that he was leaving.
I think he was the announcement. As I recall, the announcement was like around New Year's or something like that. Like maybe even before we played in whatever playoff game we played in that year. But whatever. Does all of these jobs coming open start to now have the reverse domino effect?
December 10th.
That's when Lanning was hired?
December 11th. Sorry,
Yeah.
Jesse's
So, but that's what
birthday.
I'm saying. That's post championship game weekend.
Yeah, but that's when these things happen.
Right. That's what I'm saying is when round two officially starts after championship game weekend and coaches start
To me, it's not going to be about date as much as when a position is filled and another one opens because one was filled.
Yeah.
That's the rounds.
Anyway, does this domino effect where all of these jobs start coming open eventually turn into what I just said was a reverse domino effect where like who is Kentucky going to get now? if Kentucky finally says we're done with you, Mark Stoops? And does Auburn say, like, well, normally we'd be dumping Hugh Freeze at this moment, but there are going to be 6 jobs that are way better than our job, even if we can offer 10 or 12 or $13 million. Like,
Right.
it's just going to be harder. The number of jobs that are open is going to make it more difficult to land the coach that you want. And now you end up sticking with a coach that you otherwise would have dumped.
Right. It'll be interesting to see which direction these schools go to. I think the LSUs and Floridas will pick like a known name, but like everyone can't do that. Actually, what's funny is Dan Mullen, remember him? He's throwing his name out there like, hey, if LSU wants me.
Sure he is. He's having a great year out there at UNLV.
Right.
Just the one loss so far.
So like I mean, he's definitely not going to go to Florida, but like I don't know where he ends up. He's probably not going to end up at LSU, but I think
1 year at UNLV, like, he makes sense to get a pretty good job in the Big Ten or the SEC if he wants it. Not a true top tier job.
You think Penn State could work?
No, there's no way Dan Mullen's going to Penn State after one decent year at UNLV.
Right, but I think it'll be like
like Virginia Tech maybe is the level of job that I think Dan Mullen could get right now. Like that would make
work.
some sense to me.
Yeah, that would work. Yeah, you know what's interesting? The team that got Brian Kelly fired, Texas A&M, they recently did this. We're gonna spend a lot of money to get rid of a coach that's not working out, and they're a top. They did not suffer for it, right? So like the lesson is you can afford, if you're rich enough, to make these kind of mistakes, right? So like you can afford to eat a lot of money to get rid of an underperforming coach, and then you can bounce back and be.
I know that they're at the top of the rankings right now, but like, tell me that this actually worked when they make it to the national title game, right?
So you think
like,
that's like it only works if they make it that far? I mean, if they go deep in the playoffs.
I mean, what does Texas A&M just want to be in the conversation for a couple of months before November has even happened, or do they want to win a national title?
No, but they can get it to the
because
semifinals.
The idea here was Jimbo Fisher cannot win us a national title, so we're going to get rid of him. Mike Elko, everybody loves him, obviously, right now. But who has Texas A&M played? I know they beat Notre Dame at the start of the year. They just beat who the hell did they beat?
LSU.
They just beat LSU, which is a dumpster fire.
Right.
What are we?
Also, speaking of beating LSU, dumpster fire, you're never going to get me to believe that those players didn't say, let's get fucking Mark Kelly fired. I'm never going to.
Brian Kelly?
Brian, who's Mark? The astronaut?
The astronaut from
Not
Arizona.
Mark Kelly. Brian Kelly.
Oh,
you
think there was a mutiny?
They were doing better, and it's like, nah, fuck it.
There was like a mutiny, like they
Well,
just
so
decided
that game was interesting because it was much closer on the scoreboard for the first half than it deserved to be, but it was all fluky plays. Marcel Reed, I think, threw a goofy pick six at one point, or some other bad interception that led to points. But like, it didn't ever feel like LSU was like, oh no, we're really competing in this game.
Right.
No, it was a couple of funky plays.
But the score was pretty close into the fourth quarter. They pulled away.
The score was close, but it never
Yeah.
felt like LSU was in danger of accidentally winning that game.
Right.
The offense just doesn't work well enough for
You
that
have to
to
just
happen.
interrupt him.
Okay. Do you think Brian Kelly will continue coaching?
Yes, I think so. Because he said, first of all,
Next year?
he said as much, and also like either he just goes fishing and keeps his $54 million, because he has to agree to settle for whatever the $27 to $30 million that's being reported. So I suspect he's going to go coach somewhere. He'll go back up north. He didn't have.
Right. I think he's got a duty to
Mitigate.
mitigate also,
Right.
which means he has to accept it, which is funny for a 64-year-old man to have in his contract, I got to keep looking for another job.
He's only 64.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He looks a lot older than
He can get a media job, with that personality.
Oh, yeah. He's going to be great on television.
No, that sounds horrible.
But yeah, I think to answer your question, I think he's definitely going to get a job somewhere.
So he leaves Notre Dame to come to LSU of his own accord. What sort of a job does he take at this point? Because he cannot.
Offensive coordinator. It's the only thing he should be. He shouldn't be having to interact with people.
But he was hired as like the CEO guy, right? They wanted a more serious type of person down there at LSU after a couple of coaches who were, to call Ed Ogeron a bit of a loose cannon is just ridiculous, right? Like he's just the gunpowder spread out all over the place. He's not a loose cannon. But like they wanted somebody who would come in and be professional and like take control of the program. That's the sort of guy he is. I don't know that Brian Kelly is an OC. Like he just doesn't. It doesn't strike me as the sort of thing that he would want to do.
Maybe he goes to like a fixer upper school like Oregon State. I don't know where he ends up, but he's going to go somewhere. One potential vacancy that we did not discuss is Texas, right? There's been the rumblings that Sark wants to go to the NFL. The Titans job will be available, and so like if he leaves, that'll definitely
right. This is a guy who has been in the NFL before, right? He was the offensive coordinator for the Falcons at one point.
Yeah, he's been. Yeah, I don't know what other spots he's been at, but he's been in the NFL before.
Speaking of unpleasant people, really, but that rumor goes out, and then like he forced his agency to come out and like deny it immediately, presumably because it's not great for the team,
right?
Right, like that whole thing down there is hard for him to keep the locker room if. The media is talking about how he's going to be in the NFL. I wouldn't be surprised at all if after this year, which has been sort of a down year, and I mean, it's hard to say it's a down year, but expectations were absolutely sky high. And Arch has not been who everybody hoped Arch was going to be.
And he won't be. I mean, we can just say that. I mean, this experiment has failed. Why not jump ship? You know,
he'll be what Abe expects him to be.
You think Abe writes a quarterback off quickly? Put Manning on the back of his jersey and see how quickly he writes him off.
Can we move on? I want to talk about World Series.
You want to talk about the World Series?
Yes.
All right, moving on. Brian Kelly is out, and now we got to talk baseball. The Los Angeles Dodgers are down 3-2 heading into Game 6, which is Friday night, Halloween, in Toronto. We were watching, or I was watching anyway, this 18-inning affair going on.
With your eyes closed.
Wait, how long did you stick around?
So I was up until 1 in the morning, finally fell asleep at 1 o'clock in the morning with 2 hours and 20 minutes left of baseball still to go, as it turns out. And I missed, much to my shame, I missed a Freddie Freeman walk-off home run. Even though he almost did it 2 other times in that game. He hit bombs to the track twice before he finally corked one out of there. But a fantastic baseball game was game. What game would that have been?
That's 3?
That's not 5.
No, that was game 4, I guess.
3.
Or 3,
right? Yeah, they won up 2-1, and then Toronto's won 2 in a row, right?
Yeah, 3.
No, but the first 9 innings of that game were spectacular.
2 games. It was a good 2 games.
Yeah, it was good 2 games, but
because that's 2 games.
It was just a back and forth kind of thing. There was some awesome defensive plays going on, and then the back half of the doubleheader that they played that night was scoreless for 9 innings until Freddie finally cranked one.
This is a rare occasion that a game will go for 18 innings, especially in a World Series. But it can happen. It did happen. It could have gone even further. They should consider having like a bullpen for umpires, because, I mean, how long can they accurately call balls and strikes? What if this went on for like 12 hours? Like, I mean, you got to have some sort of emergency backup plan.
I have another idea. What if instead of a 9-inning game, just like make this a thing? Like you do 2 9-inning games, and then your Game 3 is actually 2 games.
What?
Wait, say
That'd be
that again?
funny.
What?
Wait, how would that work?
We're
That doesn't make
we're
any
playing 18 and or like a double header.
Oh, I see.
Double header.
The winner of this 18-inning stretch is going to get credit for 2 wins?
Yeah.
No, I don't like that.
No one would.
'Cause what if they tie?
That would be great. They can't end in a tie. It'll eventually have to resolve itself.
19.
Shohei Ohtani in that game started. I think he started the night 4 for 4 with 2 home runs and a couple of doubles, or maybe 1 double and a single. He came up to the plate 9 times in that game. The other 5 times, they walked him intentionally.
Yeah, that is like a Barry Bonds level respect.
Yeah, and it didn't bite them in the ass.
Yeah.
Like the only thing that bit them in the ass was pitching to him. That was the lesson they learned, was when you pitch to him, bad shit happens.
Like maybe we
That's
should.
why you throw balls out of the strike zone that look like strikes.
Oh, is that the secret?
Yeah. Curveballs. Curveball's down and away, not high.
Yeah. What else did you want to say about the World Series, bud? What are you enjoying about it?
I don't know. I want the Blue Jays to win.
Did you-
But I also want there to be a Game 7.
Calvin, do you want the Blue Jays to win because you like them, or do you just hate the Dodgers?
I don't like the Dodgers.
What's not to like about the Dodgers? I mean, they got Shohei is likable. Mookie is quite likable. We love Freddie Freeman around here.
They're too good, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's-
They got that Yamamoto
Yamamoto.
as well, who rules at baseball.
They have 3 Japanese pitchers.
Yeah, what's up with that?
I have no idea.
Don't talk to Abe about the Japanese, Calvin. He's, do you know what it means to be a bigot? No.
Speak into the microphone.
These are
Abe has expressed some antisocial takes on the Japanese
just
in the
some
past.
observations, no criticism.
Game 6 is Friday night. We will definitely be watching that.
Well, there's Halloween.
Yeah, well, I'll set up the second TV outside, and the trick-or-treaters can watch the World Series action
For
as they
2
come by.
pitchers.
I believe I think game 1 I predicted, or was it the last? Was it the ALCS? I claimed that the Blue Jays are a choking kind of team, and they would find a way to lose it. They haven't. Do you see any scenario where they can lose these 2 games?
Oh, yeah, for
at
sure.
At home, that would be hilarious.
I mean, Yamamoto is going tomorrow night, so you can pretty much pencil in Game 7 at this point because that dude has been awesome. And anything can happen in Game 7. Vlad Guerrero Jr. has been spectacular.
George Springer is out.
George
and they're
Springer's,
still
yeah,
scoring
I mean,
10
George
runs.
Springer's very old man. He's more like a mascot for this team than he is.
That's
I mean, but he's been productive for that team. It is a big loss for them.
Who's that short, stocky dude for the Blue Jays? That guy's amazing.
Schneider.
Kirk.
No,
have to talk into the
Schneider's
microphone.
the coach
Not
of the Blue Jays.
Schneider.
John Schneider is their coach.
No.
Abe is referring.
David Schneider.
Abe is referring, I believe, to their catcher
Kirk
who
or
looks
something?
like Danny DeVito
Yeah, right.
physically.
Yeah, he just,
Kirk?
Yeah, Kirk.
Alejandro Kirk.
Yeah, that guy. He's a great hitter.
Yeah, fantastic hitter. Built like a little
my boy.
fire plug
Yeah.
there. Proof that you don't necessarily have to be an athlete to be a ball player.
He's an athlete. Just like sumo wrestlers are athletes. What are you talking about?
Yeah. What else is going on in the world of sport besides Brian Kelly fired and the World
Is
Series?
there nothing else in the?
You have to talk into
Is
the
there
microphone.
nothing else in the news bag?
Oh, I did come across this. Okay, Calvin, you've heard of bulletin board material, right? These teams will sometimes need a little extra motivation when they're going up against another team, and sometimes they'll make it up. This upcoming weekend, we have Georgia versus Florida, and I'm reading here on ESPN that Gunnar Stockton's grandfather died
Yeah, Florida killed his grandfather.
like 15 years ago after the Georgia-Florida game. And there is a quote from ESPN saying that Gunnar is going to win this one for his grandpa. Like, he needs this
Gunner's gonna win it for Georgia.
I know, but it's just
And
it's
his
a
grandfather.
weird
And his
thing to
grandfather.
like. I don't like. It's like I'm going to win. Like I want to win one for him. Is a weird
No, it's
thing.
like, you killed my father. Prepare to die.
Like that's not. I mean, Florida has a lot of faults, but this is not their doing. They did not cause this heart attack.
No, Florida's not going to beat Georgia.
They're not.
All right, we'll get to the Florida-Georgia stuff momentarily. Back briefly to the coaching conversation in part because of all the money that gets paid out to these assholes. But what exactly are these schools paying for? And I know that like, it's a weird market, right? So I recognize that the market forces here is essentially what's driving the cost into the stratosphere. But look at how coaches are paid in the NFL, because obviously it's the most direct comparison, right?
Yeah.
There's only 32 NFL head coaches.
Right.
The highest paid NFL head coach, Abe, I bet you know off the top of your head who that is.
The highest paid coach in the NFL?
Just if you had to guess.
I don't know. John Harbaugh?
It's Andy Reid.
Okay.
Andy Reid
Oh,
makes
yeah.
$20 million a year. He's won a bunch
Wait,
of Super
what?
Bowls in the last little while.
He's 20 per?
$20 million a year, yeah.
Holy shit.
Sean Payton makes $18 million a year, and then John Harbaugh makes $17 million a year.
Wow. Good for Andy.
Yeah.
He can eat good now.
After you get through that first, top 10 or so,
Yeah.
your average NFL coach makes less than $10 million a year. Like, $5 to $8 million a year, something like that. But there's a huge long list of college coaches who make more than that, right? And they obviously all make way more money than their highest paid players do. For example, right? Like Kirby Smart makes $13 million a year or something like that. No one on Georgia, like you could pile together most of Georgia's NIL money, and it's not going to come close to the money that Kirby makes. And and speaking of, I heard that there's a clause in Kirby's contract, or I was reminded of this fact. I knew it a couple of years ago, but there's a clause where he has to be the highest paid coach in the country. So that like when Lane Kiffin goes and signs a new contract for like $14.5 million a year, Kirby's going to get a new contract that pays him more than that.
Oh, nice. See, that's actually pretty smart because instead of doing this nonsense like through the media, like, oh, he's considering going here, and then the school's like, okay, stay and we'll give you more. Instead of going through that whole charade, just have like an automatic trigger and you're good to go.
But what are you paying for in college?
Kirby Smart.
But you don't ever get Kirby Smart.
No,
why?
One time you do. Everybody else is an idiot.
Why Brian Kelly? Why Dan Lanning? Why James Franklin? All of these dudes making 10, 11, 12 plus $1 million every single year, far in excess of the talent around them who they have to make perform. Like there's just this weird incongruity between like the job of the NFL head coach and the job of the college head coach relative to the salaries below them around them. Because
the college coaches have to do more work, right? They have to recruit. They're working all the time.
I don't know. How much time off do the Harbaugh bros take every year?
I think the whole off season.
No, these guys work.
I think it.
Yeah, but because they're weirdos. But like the job of the NFL head coach is not the job of the college head coach.
Because
as evidenced by Bill Belichick.
Right. The NFL is structured in a way where you don't have to like fly to some school to like talk to some 17-year-old. Like there's a draft process, so you're doing evaluations, so you're spending time with your front office and evaluating talent, but you don't have to like convince somebody or pay them to come to your place to play.
Yeah, but that's not. I don't think that it's because they're being compensated for their time, right?
But
like
I think the job is harder.
No. I think it's just a thoroughly deranged. It's just a thoroughly deranged market, right? Like the market is just off in some way that it allows for this to happen.
But
because it doesn't because there's nobody thinks Brian Daboll is a great coach, right? Oh, he's going to make a few $1 million a year. Yeah. He's a fine coach, but nobody thinks, oh, here's the guy who's going to figure everything out and make our whole New York Football Giants program work, right? There's none of that in the NFL. You had it with Bill Belichick, and he was sort of the only one. Yeah. But like I know Andy Reid makes $20 million a year, but that's because he's won all of these Super Bowls and he's obviously a very good coach. But it's not like he's the fucking maestro or something who knows all of the right strings to pull in order to make everything work exactly right. Which is sort of the idea that we have about Nick Saban and Kirby Smart and all the other college coaches who do this. It's a different conception of what the job is for no real good reason. Right? Because none of these dudes are actually equipped to do the thing that they're expected to do, as evidenced by the fact that the ones who are, like James Franklin and Brian Kelly, are just getting fired at will. And Jimbo Fisher, another good example, tens of millions of dollars or $70 million or something that he was paid to just go away. Right. Because as it turns out, we don't think you can do the job that we hired you to do.
But the reason why they were hired in the first place is because these coaches are trading on their reputations. So like Brian Kelly, where was he? He was at Notre Dame, and before then he was at like Cincinnati, right? So like he was great there at Cincinnati, and like Notre Dame's like, okay, come here. And then he had some success there. There was that kid that died, setting that aside, they had success there, and it's like, okay, I'm going to find another job. And so James Franklin, he found success at Vanderbilt, and then, hey, Penn State, he gets a job there. If he were successful there, then he could have gotten a higher job. But basically, you're kind of building your resume, and so like the next man up now are going to be the Vanderbilt coach, that Arizona State coach, the Georgia Tech coach. They're kind of the next names up. Like they're successful at the lower tier or the mid-tier schools. And so whenever a job becomes available, like in Florida, one of them will get a job. And if they're successful there, then they can command even more money. Like that's kind of how the economy works.
I know, but like, you would think at some point you would like there needs to be a limiting principle at work here. Some
but
point.
we're gonna get there. We're just not there yet. The limiting principle will be next year in the next couple years when it's like, this sucks.
But every time there's an opportunity for that to happen, you get a situation like this. I mean, this would be a coach's market right now, right? Like there are all these schools that are going to be in a bidding war to get whatever the name is, right? So like all that stuff about like...
and it might cause the Hugh Freezes and the Mike Norvells and the Wisconsin guys to not get fired.
Yes. Because it's like it's too volatile.
It's going to be really... Don't sell your house now.
Right. So like basically just like the market commands whatever, so like I think there's just no changing it right now. Maybe in a few years, maybe this needs to fail a few more times. But again, going back to the Texas A&M situation, I know you're not sold yet. They turned it around and they're doing great. They're in top 5. They seem like, they're going to go far in the playoffs. They're not going to win it necessarily, but they'll be a team.
It's just I get this feeling that none of these nobody has, and you watch that LSU press conference with the governor, and the thing where he's just dismissive of the idea that Scott Woodward is going to be the one who makes this hire. Yeah. It's like no one knows anything, right? And yet we commit tens of millions of dollars for what is ostensibly a public sector job for these coaches to come in and not have any idea what they're doing, and to work for an athletic director who makes way less money than they do, right? And so like none of it really makes any sense. Like the athletic and so where I'm going is, do we end up with a situation where like Andrew Luck in Stanford is the CEO or whatever of the Stanford football program,
right.
And I don't know what he's making. I'm sure it's a handsome salary, but can you imagine a situation where like the general manager or CEO of a college football program, because like when Kirby leaves in, God bless him, 25 years after 7 more national titles or something like that. When he finally leaves, and the next coach is going to be, because of inflation and just the way that time marches on, like slated to make $27 million a year or something like that. Like it won't make any sense whatsoever to pay that coach that money after all of the, like, you won't have done anything on par with what Kirby Smart will have accomplished, right? You don't know what you're getting when you put the guy in after the guy. Yeah. And so like there's just there's part of me that is like, what you need in order to have stability and in order to avoid this sort of nonsense is to put somebody in an administrative position to be the ultimate one in charge, and then hire your coach to do the X's and the O's, to run the football program.
The only solution that has worked, not with coaches but with players, has been a salary cap, an artificial restriction on how much to pay them. If there was some sort of collusion among the conferences, the major conferences, to set a salary cap for head coaches so they're not outbidding themselves. Basically, it's like, this is not good for any of us to pay this amount of money. Like, that would be the only way out. Otherwise, you would find yourself in situations like this year where you're going to have to pay whatever you're going to have to pay them. So unless there's
maybe that'll happen when they do the Super League.
Yeah, so like if they do some sort of like a closed league kind of thing, like try to model it after like a professional league, then you can have some sort of restriction. But until then, it'll be the...
Well, I think at that point, it's going to be a question of who is going to continue paying players more and more and more and more, right?
It's going to,
it's
all going to
the
change.
More that you pay these players, the less is going to be set aside for the coaches, presumably. All right, that's the WGAS NewsBag Sports Edition. Let's zip that up and turn to the weekend's action. It is now time for the best game in every time slot, when we go through the schedule so that you don't have to. You don't have to look at your stupid TV guide thing on your screen there. Just take notes now or go to brainiron.substack.com, and in the show note will be the best game in every time slot. You just tune in from there. On Friday night, the bonus Friday night game is not football. you have to watch the World Series. Look, you turn off the porch light. I say 9 o'clock should be the cutoff. Do not allow any more trick-or-treating to happen after
it's baseball.
After 9 o'clock.
You can also hand out candy.
Yeah.
I don't need weirdos coming to my house.
Fair
in,
enough,
in
but like it's not
after
because
9
of
o'clock
baseball.
at night.
What's the understood
Also, there's
cutoff?
UNC Syracuse on.
Is it not sundown? Like when do people stop?
No.
No, sundown is when you
That's
should
when you
start
start.
trick-or-treating.
Okay, that shows you what little I know.
You got to
about
go walk
trick-or-treating.
around in the dark. You got your flashlight. You got your fun light up stuff on your Teenage Mutant Ninja
It's
Turtle
Halloween
costume.
night, not Halloween day.
So like 7 to 9. That's like the prime time.
Yeah.
Prime, I would say that like true prime time trick-or-treating is about 6:30 to 8:30.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you start like it turns into stragglers after 8:30.
Older kids.
And then like you get some real aggressive ones that will, even after you've turned off your lights and shit, still bang on your door at 9:15. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Get out of here. Lights are off, man. No more candy.
Fortune favors the bold, Bob.
Yeah.
8 o'clock is when this game starts. It's on Fox. Dodgers are the slight road favorites because they've got Yamamoto going on the hill.
And you penciled them in for a win, anyways, right?
Yeah, they're winning this game. But still, it's an elimination game, Game 6. It's the World Series. Watch that. Don't watch whatever the Friday night.
Syracuse.
You say UNC Syracuse?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not worth watching.
The get-in price $4.
$4 at Syracuse, huh?
It's going to be cold.
Oh man.
Syracuse might lose is the thing because they don't have a quarterback.
Who does Virginia
And they're about to
play?
lose their coach.
Virginia has NC State this weekend, I believe.
No. They already played NC
No, they
State.
have Cal. They go to Cal.
Yeah.
Oh, well, they might lose.
You have to
They're
talk
not
into
good.
the microphone.
Virginia is not as good as they look.
We're going to get there.
See?
Okay.
They're on my list here. Calm down, boy.
Okay, good.
So, yeah, that's Friday night. Watch the World Series, you heathen. Speaking of trick-or-treating, at what age is it acceptable? Because we have a teenager now, and my teenager is still going to go around with his friends dressed up in costumes, knocking on doors and collecting candy. What is the acceptable age cutoff for trick-or-treating?
That is a good question. Is this like the end of the runway for
There-
13? Like you have to.
No, there is no. No, the question
They
is.
said one more, and then I go to high school, and then I'm done.
Yeah,
Okay.
so you can stop whenever you want,
Well, you can't.
but what would you rather they be doing? I firmly think that kids should trick or treat as long as they want to.
Well, wait a minute. If we turn this around, Bob and Lori, what age would you guys refuse candy? Like if some 17-year-old with a mustache.
Have it.
You,
I mean, there are grown people who come and trick-or-treat.
That's fine.
really?
I don't want my candy.
Wait, what's the oldest?
I got it
like,
to give
what are we
away.
talking about? Like 19, 20?
Yeah, kids in
Yes,
their 20s. And then
take
like some of them come around and like ostensibly they're with kids, but like, are you really?
No, that's it. If they're knocking on doors and getting candy, they're not doing crimes.
I see. So,
So,
you're encouraging this
Preferred.
activity.
There is
Yeah.
absolutely no age
Okay.
that I would refuse. On Halloween, you
Yeah.
knock on the door any
Yeah.
other day of the year, that's weird.
Yeah.
But on the day that's the activity, besides pranks, like, yes, here, take the candy.
All right, that's Friday night. On Saturday afternoon, we've got some baseball to worry about. But if you are lucky enough to be home at noon, one of the more fun games of the entire day is what you should turn on. Number 9, Vanderbilt, plus 2.5
What?
on the road at Texas. Still no respect for the Vanderbilt Commodores.
What is the explanation for this line? Like Arch, I don't know if I haven't seen any update. He wasn't in the concussion
He's
protocol. Is he out
still
of it
not
now?
supposed
Is he
to
in the
play.
clear?
He's not out, he's questionable.
Okay, so like,
How is Texas favored if
Because
Arch
they
Manning is
still have
out?
better players.
But they're not good.
yeah, I agree with Calvin. I don't.
Vegas
That
doesn't
makes
care.
This line makes.
I
no
don't
sense.
trust this
Vegas
line.
is wrong.
My instinct for this game initially was going to be all over Vanderbilt, but then I was spooked by the fishiness
Oh, I
of this
see.
line, and so I'm staying away. But yeah, that's the noon game. That's the best game at noon. Also, though, on the second TV, I don't know if this is just a function of the fact that we might have a Game 7, but the better games this week, in my opinion, are happening during the day rather than the late window. The late window is kind of soft, but this the noon and 3:30 isn't half bad.
Yeah.
So second TV, quad box, Penn State plus 20.5 points at number 1 Ohio State on Fox, the big noon kickoff game. Penn State's no good, and they don't have a coach, I guess. But 3 touchdowns against Ohio State when Penn State came in as, a national title contender, or at the very least, certainly a playoff team.
It's crazy that the line is like almost 20 points. At the start of the season, this was a game that you would circle, like the big,
crazy.
The Fox people, the ESPN people, you think they would show up there for their morning programs, but like the whole thing is falling apart.
3 touchdowns is right at the edge of, like, they don't get much bigger than that unless they're absurd games and like, Division II school is involved or something. I think Penn State covers that, like, sneaky.
I mean,
like it's too big a number. They've
still
got too
have
many good players.
players.
Yeah.
I hope they win.
Well, of course you hope they win, but you have to talk into the microphone.
I hope they win.
Second box of the quad box there, UCF plus 3.5 at Baylor, over under 59.5 points on ESPNU. I think that could be a fun one. Number 10, Miami, minus 11.5 points at SMU on ESPN.
Just naming all the things we're not watching.
Yeah, but that's a big number considering what Miami has been the last few weeks, which is not spectacular. I don't know. I guess maybe the defense shows up and holds SMU down, but I like SMU and some points there.
Miami just kicked a lot of butt. 42-7.
Against whom?
Stanford.
Yeah, against Stanford.
Yeah, but that was the last time they played.
Yeah, but the last time I watched them was when Carson Beck was terrible on a Friday night.
Okay.
And that's what's
happens like once or twice a year when Carson Beck, like it happened last year too.
Yep, sure did.
Did it not?
Yeah. All right.
Baby boy.
Fourth game of the quad box there at noon. Duke plus 2.5 at Clemson on ACC Network. Imagine the start of this year. You're Clemson. You are not thinking that you are going to be a home favorite by less than a field goal against the Dukies. That's tough.
That is tough.
All right.
And they lost to SMU last week.
Clemson did.
That's wild.
So Clemson has 3 losses?
Yeah, they're 3-4.
3 and 4.
They lost to the Brian Kelly-led LSU team at the beginning of
What's
the year.
the rest of their schedule? Are they going bowling this year?
So-
Could they not be bowl eligible?
So there are 3 wins. They have Duke, Florida State, Louisville, Furman, and South Carolina. So they.
I don't know that they've got to win this game,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because they could easily lose South Carolina. You could lose to FSU, certainly.
And you can lose to Louisville too. Yeah. Basically, I mean,
And you could definitely lose to Louisville.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, 3:30. It's the world's largest outdoor cocktail party. It is number 5, Georgia, minus 7.5 points. Not nearly enough points.
Oh, shut up,
You
Bob.
are a coward if you are a Georgia fan and you do not put the balance of your sports book
I'm terrified.
Yeah,
on
this
the
is,
dogs to
Coward
cover.
doesn't touch it.
This is a-
I think Florida's gonna. This is the kind of thing where Florida wins.
this is a stay away game, Bob. What are you talking about? You want to?
It's not a stay away game.
Especially-
This is Georgia. This is Kirby against the Gators. This is easy.
This is especially a stay away game with the stench of your confidence. Like just every
Yeah.
time you are like, oh,
Yeah,
boy,
you're the worst.
This is gonna be great. By the way, you guys
I'm
mentioned
gonna be mad at you when we lose now.
you guys mentioned
I'm not gonna lose.
I'm gonna be mad at you too. How about
you
that?
guys mentioned
Lose to Florida football.
y'all mentioned baseball. You guys gonna be available to watch that? You guys gonna be home watching this, or you guys?
yeah.
Okay.
Home
Yeah.
by the time the Georgia-Florida game
So
kicks off.
if we're not done with baseball, I'm just gonna leave.
Okay.
Is what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like, nope. Bye.
All right, second TV. Go ahead, get the quad box going. Might as well. Both TVs are out anyway. Number 2, Indiana, minus 21.5 at Maryland on CBS. Maryland has been a surprise team. They've kept games closer.
They've lost
and
a lot of close
won a
games.
couple of close ones and then lost a bunch of close ones. I suspect Indiana wins big here, though. Number 13, Texas Tech, minus 7.5 at Kansas State over on Fox. Number 15, Virginia, minus 4.5, going all the way across the country for an ACC game against Cal on ESPN2. What was that you were saying earlier about Virginia, Calvin?
They almost lost to North Carolina.
Yeah. They've won, I think, 4 games in a row by one possession. They've won a bunch of games very, very close, including 2 or 3 of them in overtime.
Yeah, it's remarkable how many close games. I mean, the last 2 games, like Wazoo by 2 points, and then North Carolina by 1 point. Just very.
But as of right now, undefeated in the conference, and if they keep it rolling, they will play for the conference title game. And then
UVA's had one. Okay. So the last 4 games have all been by 1 possession, and 3 of them were in overtime. And the Washington State one was in the final moments.
Right. It is, yeah, it's crazy how close these games are.
All right, and then 4th game in the quad box at 3:30, we've got Mississippi State, the Bizarros, plus 4.5 points at Arkansas, over under 67.5 points on SEC Network at 4 o'clock. I think that could be a very fun game. Surely Mississippi State has to win a game at some point, right?
I can't even talk about Mississippi State. It makes me too sad.
We've talked before on the show and elsewhere about humiliation fetishists, how we are a nation of humiliation fetishists. Is it possible that Jeff Lebby and the Mississippi State Bizarro Bulldogs are like loss humiliation fetishists?
I can't watch the highlights.
They're addicted to losing.
Right. I mean,
they get some.
Arkansas had lost, 6 in a row now? Going into this game.
but close,
not
right?
like,
With Petrino kind of
not
keeping
like,
things interesting.
It's just right there.
Yeah.
Like, surely this one we're winning. What was it, 30-14 against Texas? It was something like that. It was horrible.
Yeah, that was rough.
It's like, hey, look at this guy break his ankle, and I'm like, I'm not gonna look at that. And it's like, look at these Mississippi State highlights, and I'm like, I'm not gonna look at that.
That leg injury was great.
The Camp Scarborough.
No, you don't
later.
You do not want to see the Cam Scatabo injury, dude.
Boy.
It's real gross. All right, 7:30. You've got number 18 Oklahoma plus 3.5 points at number 14 Tennessee. Over under 56.5 points. Maybe the game of the day, if we're being objective here. This is a playoff deal breaker game, I think, for both of these teams, right? The loser is going to have 3 losses and is going to find it difficult to get into the playoff. I think it's fair to say.
Right.
Should be a fun one. The problem is it might also be Game 7 time during this window.
That is
true.
true.
I've got a slash here. If we are playing Game 7 of the World Series, that goes on the primary television.
Yeah.
And I go in the primary bedroom.
And Oklahoma and Tennessee goes on the second TV.
So Oklahoma lost to Ole Miss. They have Tennessee, and then after that, Alabama. So, like, in this 3 weeks, this is the winnable game against Tennessee. Like, you don't want to lose.
Gotta have this one. Gotta beat Alabama if you're going to make the playoff, right?
Yeah.
But if they lose this one, then it doesn't matter what happens against Alabama, I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't think that they can lose to this one. And then, because tennis, then the problem when you lose your 3rd loss of the year, you're now behind the team that you just lost to. And, Tennessee's already got 2 losses. So need this one if you're Oklahoma here. And John Mateer, his hand is apparently healthy again. So who knows what happens there. All right, second television. We've got number 23 USC minus 6.5 at Nebraska on NBC. As we mentioned, Matt Rule got a contract extension simply because they were afraid that he might go elsewhere, I guess. We've got South Carolina plus 12.5 at number 7 Ole Miss on ESPN. I have no idea what South Carolina's problem is this year, but
everything.
Could they pull it off here? Could their defense
they
stand
almost
up to
beat
Lance?
Alabama.
Lance was a mess. That game that they won
Who?
ended up being fairly handily last week. Ole Miss. They kind of played with their food, right? Like, they prevailed obviously, but I don't know.
South Carolina has nothing to play for is the problem.
Yeah.
Do you think
Except, I guess, bowl eligibility.
You think this line is about right, Bob?
Yeah, 2 scores makes sense for who these teams have been this year. But who knows? All right, number 8, Georgia Tech, minus 5.5 on the road at NC State on ESPN2 at 7:30. I don't know. Put it on. Why not?
Yeah.
It's Tech. They might be playing in the ACC championship game if they keep winning, and you got to start scouting them because we got to play them in a few weeks.
That's right. There's no stopping. That's a Black Friday game, right? There's no stopping this team.
Kentucky plus 11.5 points at Auburn on SEC Network at 7:30. I think that is a lot of points, and I know Kentucky sucks, and I know that the games that they lose close, they tend to lose.
And Auburn sucks.
Yeah, Auburn sucks. And Kentucky is the games that they've lost close have been home games that they've lost close, and they go on the road and they tend to get their asses kicked. But 11.5 points seems like a lot against a bad Auburn team. So
you think this is going to be a high scoring game? It's only like a 40 some odd total.
No, I think it's going to be a very ugly game.
Ugly game.
And,
Okay, there you go.
Two scores strikes me as too big of a line there.
Gotcha.
All right, and then 10:15, time for a nightcap. You've got number 17 Cincinnati plus 10.5 points on the road at number 24 Utah. Because why not?
That is weird. The team, I don't know if it's a home thing, but like the number 17 team is down 10 points. They're getting 10.5. Like, do the rankings mean nothing?
Apparently, the rankings mean nothing. Yeah.
Not nothing. It's just that's how it goes.
It's a big line.
Utah is better.
All right, it is now time to move along to the CIB 2025 Football Pick'em Contest. Updating last week's scores. Big news at the top of the rankings here. Cousin Steve has vaulted into the lead with 132 points.
Did he not start at the beginning?
Oh, no, he's gotten his picks in every single time. 15 points last week for Cousin Steve. North Texas, Michigan State, and Vanderbilt all coming true. By the way, he clarified that he wanted to lay the points with Vanderbilt. There was some confusion on the line, and he emailed me and said he just realized he had accidentally bet a futures game between Vandy and Texas, which is why he had the plus number in his parlay. The good news is his parlay didn't come in anyway, so it doesn't matter. But he's got Vandy again this week. He's doubling down again as we go through the
I'm a Vanderbilt fan now, too.
the picks here. Cousin Steve's going to take Vandy, and he is not worried about the points. He will take Vanderbilt as the money line underdog.
How much money do you think this Diego fellow? And by the way, Laura, did you get the apparel? Had to come in?
No, they haven't even shipped it. They keep telling me they're working on it.
How lame. But like, how much money has this dude generated that program? They were in Nashville last week, and they have these musicians performing. Like, everybody seems to be into it. Like, I don't know if it's going to sustain beyond whenever his eligibility is over.
He's a legend.
I know, but like, what if like he kickstarts this thing and now Vanderbilt is no longer the doormat of the SEC? They were booing Saban because he's like, oh, that's the only easy win in the conference. And
Who's gonna go play quarterback? Like I don't.
No, but he's like the
Can't catch Diego in a bottle twice.
Just he's Johnny Manziel, but different.
But he's
like.
But what if he's like the draw? Like, oh, I want to be.
But
what that guy's up to.
Look at A&M between Johnny Manziel and now.
That's true. Yeah.
Go Diego, go.
Yeah. Well, so long as he's there, ride the Vanderbilt train.
Memphis minus 13.5 points against Rice. He's got Duke outright over Clemson. And then on the NFL side, he's going to lay lots of points on the NFL side. Chargers minus 9.5 against the Titans. And the Rams minus 14.5 at home against the Saints.
Those are reasonable. I mean, the Titans suck, and so do the Saints.
I know, but double-digit NFL lines are nothing to ever wager on. It's such a nightmare.
That's true.
Lori here has gotten in some picks that she stole from some internet personalities, no doubt. Purdue.
I stole 3 of them, and then 2 of them I made up.
Purdue plus 21.5 at number 21 Michigan. Utah minus 9.5 points at home against Cincinnati. Illinois minus 12.5 points at home against Rutgers. And the bizarro Bulldogs, Mississippi State.
Want them to win so bad.
Plus 4.5 at Arkansas. Lori falling into the caboose.
I don't care.
This week.
Good. That's appropriate.
Lori's got 122 points. Things have all of the sudden gotten very tight.
What a remarkable turnabout for someone.
And that is because last week My picks went 5-0. Memphis, Ole Miss, BYU, and Kansas State, all road dogs, all won. And then Texas A&M minus the 2.5 points. I scored 45 points last week, vaulting me into a tie for second place, just 2 points behind cousin Steve. I have 130 points now, tied with Abe for second.
What a remarkable week for you.
Every other week this season, I have placed a $5 parlay on my 5 picks. And last week, I got up and made breakfast and went to the ball field to get the fields ready for the brats to play baseball all day on it. And I failed to place, last Saturday, I failed to place a $5 parlay on my 5 fucking picks. The one time I go 5-0, I did not get the $5 parlay down.
Going forward, are you going to continue that trend, or are you going to go back to betting and undermining your picks?
Are you suggesting that there's some sort of relationship there?
Clearly, that's why you went 5 for 5. I mean, that's got to count for something.
All right, Abe. What are your games this week?
So going with Vandy. I don't understand this line. It makes no sense, but I'm not scared like some people. So I'm going to go with Vandy. Give him an easy 10 points.
If I had said Vandy, you would have gotten scared and said, look, there's way too many of us on Vandy. This was dumb.
That's true. Well, never know. Georgia Tech, easy win over these bums. NC State. I'm going to go with Calvin's prediction that the UVA team is not so hot, going with Cal to win. And then in the NFL, got the
curious picks you've made in the NFL this week, Abe. I can't help but notice that now that we got a tie situation here, we seem to be of similar minds on the NFL games.
You think I'm trying to mirror your picks? I see opportunities. You know, the Broncos are much better than these bum Texans, and they're getting points. Come on, that's an easy one. And then same thing with the Chiefs. They're due for a loss. They had a nice win on Monday night. So Bills, they're gonna play hard. Another 10-pointer right there. So I put down my picks in my Google Keep separate from this. So this.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, it's the Keep. That's where.
Oh yeah, you can look at the timestamp.
Where you keep things.
Can I make some picks?
You can make picks in just a moment. I'm gonna give my picks here. I've got the Broncos. I've got the Bills. I was in the spreadsheet first. I don't care about your fucking Keep. I've got UCF outright over Baylor. I'm also taking Oklahoma. They are getting 3.5 points on the road at Tennessee. I will take them outright. And I will lay a touchdown and 0.5 point against the Gators down in Jacksonville, because the Georgia Bulldogs are not going to have a problem with this rotten Florida team this year. This is a Florida team that needs to run the ball to have success, right? And what does the Georgia Bulldog team do well? We stop the run reasonably well. We don't know a whole lot else well on defense, but we do stuff the run. I don't see head coachless Florida. Billy Napier ain't walking through that door.
The thing that made them bad, the thing that made them suck so much is gone.
Yeah.
So you think they're going to be worse.
Georgia's win this game. Bobo is now unleashed after what happened the last time.
Big fan of his now?
This offense took the field. I mean, until proven otherwise.
Fucking people.
Until 7 minutes into the game, when they are 2 3-and-outs deep already. All right, Calvin, what are your picks this week?
Vanderbilt wins.
Well, there we go.
Here.
Fade the public.
Here.
So I picked these games.
No, pick 5 games. Don't pick 25 games.
Vanderbilt,
All right.
Boston College.
So Boston College plus 28.5 points, or you just think they're going to beat Notre Dame outright?
Outright.
Oh, that should count for like 30 points.
BC is going to beat Notre Dame?
Stranger things have
That's
happened.
bold. All right, I'm writing it down.
Whenever it's above 20 points, you should just earn the point spread. So it should be 28.5 points.
Utah.
All right, Utah outright or Utah minus 9.5 points?
I'm just doing them all outright.
All right, Utah outright.
California.
There we go.
Wins.
All right.
And then Georgia.
And Georgia. All right. So tell you what, I will make a 5-way parlay on that.
If that hits,
Don't
boy.
do that.
Although I cannot bet the Virginia game. So pick one more game so that I can have a 5-way parlay.
What about Tech NC State?
That's not how you spell tech.
That's how Daddy spells it.
Calvin, even when it's just a spreadsheet that none of the public will see, you must write tech as lowercase t e k in order to properly disrespect them.
Oklahoma.
All right. So Calvin's got Vandy, BC, Georgia, Oklahoma, and Utah, and that will be his 5-way parlay. And tell you what, a $5 parlay, whatever that's worth, that money's all yours, bud, if it hits. How about that? Oh yeah.
How much do you think?
I mean,
with BC factored in there, it's going to be a significant amount.
It's
of
going to
money.
be a ridiculous.
$0 is what you'll win.
Yeah, that's the likely outcome, but that BC component is going to be ridiculous.
Oh, that'd be great, though, wouldn't it? All right, that's the CIB 2025 football pick'em contest. Don't gamble, everyone out there, especially if you're
children.
13 years old. To be clear, don't do it.
Can we send him to bed
No.
before Jimmy? Okay.
It is now. It's now time for everybody's favorite part of the show. We are going live to Plains Heaven, where we are about to hear from Jimmy Carter and the presidential lock of the week.
Hello once again to my dear friends at Cast Iron Balls, and also to Eve, and a very special hello to Calvin. Calvin, happy birthday, young man. A piece of advice as you enter into your teenage years from an old peanut farmer, if you will indulge me. No matter how strong and healthy the plant, it cannot grow and flourish if it's surrounded by other, more idiotic plants. Which is to say, be careful about who your closest associates are, because you're all coming out of the same soil, if you catch my meaning. And I must say, on that front, I have my concerns, considering that you're sitting there podcasting with Abe, a no-account bureaucrat with all the stand-up of a bowl called peanut butter spaghetti. And in which way, not much a report from heaven this week, and no time to do it even if there was. As Rosalind always used to say, time is our most precious resource, Jimmy, so please do shut your goober gullet and get the fuck on with it. Texas has looked mostly awful so far this season, and Vanderbilt is having more fun than would be permissible if they played on Sundays. Steve Sarkisian always seems about one pick six away from picking up a six-pack again. And Archer's proof that Manning face is not the secret ingredient to great quarterback play, after all. That said, Arch might not play this week, and I think Texas gets it done at home. Heaven may be overrun with demons and murderers, it being Halloween and all, but I'm not scared. Give me the Longhorns and lay those little 2.5 points. As always, enjoy the games, with good food and drink, and most importantly, good company, and be kind to one another. For gosh sakes, almost nothing matters besides that. May God bless this great nation, and this great podcast. Until next time, this is Jimmy from Plains for Cast Iron Balls.
Here's Jimmy.
Well, Jimmy's doing much better than I am lately. And he's dead.
That's right. Jimmy was correct last week as well, running his record up to, I think he's 6-4 now, isn't he?
Is he 6?
Or no, this is week 10, so he's 5-4 going into this week. You've been listening to Cast Iron Balls, a podcast with Bob and Abe. Lori's here too, and so is Calvin. You can check out the show on Substack, brainiron.substack.com for more from us. The opening and closing themes of the show were composed by Mark Gillig, tetramermusic.com, Tetramer music.com for more from Mark. Abe, anything else in the world of sport catch your eye this week?
I was very annoyed this past weekend. I'm watching, football, and there are commercials running, attack ads. We're entering the first week of November, and typically this is election time. And so you would see, depending on your state, different political attack ads. But I'm seeing...
it's all we see. All of our commercials are just attack ads between Winsome Earl Sears and Abigail Spanberger.
Did you also see an attack ad in the world of sports?
Against YouTube TV?
Yes. This is what I
Yeah, I
want to
saw
complain
that.
about. ESPN or Disney or whomever is running ads, and one of them opens with YouTube TV is added again, like you would with like a politician. Like, oh,
Yeah.
there they go
the
again.
Democrats are at it again.
Yeah, and then they're like, take action. I'm supposed to take action? What do you want me to do? Like, you're disputing YouTube TV, and they're telling you to go to keep my networks.
It's as simple as this, and I don't normally like to take sides in these stupid disputes between major media
So what do
conglomerates.
they want us to do then?
But YouTube TV is already like $83 a month at this
Very
point.
expensive.
I will cancel it on Saturday if I wake up and there's no ESPN and Fox on there, and I will subscribe to the $45 or whatever it is dollars a month
Yeah.
for the sports package between ESPN and Fox that they rolled together last month, and that'll be the end of it. And that's fucking fine. But like $83 a month is a ton of money to pay,
Yeah.
considering that
Yeah.
the only thing that we use it for is to watch
Right.
5 football games at once, most Saturdays. And I will be happy to cancel YouTube TV on Saturday if they can't get their shit together.
I won't be happy.
And you know, they'll probably sort it out. And then they had a similar thing with Fox and YouTube TV, and they sorted it out. It's just like, why are you involving? It seems like the parents are fighting, and they're like, "Hey, kids, your dad is at it. Like, you figure it out. Like, what do you want me to do?"
A real shitty system that we're in, and we remade the entire. Like we just redid cable again, except with far more different players
Messier.
involved.
Yeah, you're right.
It sucks. Anyway, anything else in the world of sport catch your eye this week, Lori?
Would you like to know the name of the interim athletic director at LSU?
Sure.
Verge Osbury.
Yes.
It's a pretty good one. Verge Osbury.
Osbury. Sounds fake. That's it.
Yeah. Calvin, have you got anything else for us tonight?
I don't know really, but you were talking about ads, so Farmer's Dog. I hate it.
Oh yeah, not a big fan of the Farmer's Dog
No.
ads. What don't you like about Farmer's Dog ads?
It literally says on the commercial that it's human food and
Yeah.
not dog food, which is stupid.
So we've got a friend of the family I was talking to last week, and he said, "All dogs die of cancer," and I said, "That's a terrible name for a movie." What he was saying was the problem with the dog diet is why all the dogs get. He's convinced that because we feed our dogs kibble rather than real food, all dogs die of cancer. I was like, so I presume that your refrigerator is stocked full of the farmer's dog, and when friends and associates come over, they inspect your refrigerator and see all of the dog food in it, and then get snooty about how your fridge is full of dog food, and then you no longer have those friends, just like in those commercials. And he said, no, we just feed them Costco kibble. And you just told me that
Well, they have to die of something.
all
Yeah,
dogs
that is
die
true.
of cancer, and you identified the problem as being the kibble, and then you said, yeah, it's just what we give our dog too.
Do you think this peer pressure would work though? Like, people want what's best for their dog, and like, if you convince them that this is the path forward.
There's no amount of shame that I will endure.
I would rather make the dog food.
Yeah. Like fucking $6 a meal or something
No,
for
we
my
can make
dog?
the dog food.
Are you out of your goddamn mind?
I made baby food. I could make dog food.
Just if you're gonna give it Farmer's Dog, just give it turkey.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, let's go to bed.
Okay.
All right, Calvin. First of all, that's 10 push-ups.
No.
And secondly, thanks for being here tonight and happy birthday.
Yeah, happy
Happy
birthday, Calvin.
boy. Little boy.
Yeah.
Abe, have you got anything else for us tonight?
Nope.
Well, I guess that's all we've got for you tonight then, and we will talk to you next time.
Later.
Abe, can you guess what I'm being for Halloween?
A Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
No.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Is this like something that I should be able to guess? Like something that not like a.
It's funny.
You are familiar with it.
Yes.
I'll give you a hint. It's a horse.
Yoshi? You're gonna. That's gonna be your costume?
Yes, Yoshi the horse.
Nice.
Sucks.
What sucks?
Sharing a earbud with this kid.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. It's your birthday. It just sucks. Don't lean over.
I was looking at the cat.
Look with your eyes.
I can't look with my eyes right now. It's being blocked.
We will talk to you next time.
Later.
We have to put these kids to bed.
I'm waiting for the music.
The music comes in the
Comes
edit,
in
bro.
post.
Bye.
The proceeding was created with 100% human content.